Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. Week 13 of the NFL season is here, and it is time for my NFL Week 13 picks and predictions. And speaking of 13, last week I went 13-3, so I was pretty damn good. Not only did you come to my video for some entertainment, you actually got some good information as well. Let's keep that going. Let's keep that trend going with this week's picks, and you see what happens as we get further and further and farther and farther into the NFL season. I get a better feel for each and every team, as does everyone else, and the picks become much easier. At this point, we know teams like the Giants and Broncos absolutely stink, and we know teams like the Saints, the Vikings, and the Rams, whom we didn't expect much from, are damn good, so things become easier this part of the NFL season. So with that said, let's start with the Thursday night football game, as we have the Washington Redskins traveling to Dallas, facing the Dallas Cowboys. Now, what do we know about these two teams right now? The Redskins are all right. I think all of us thought they were going to be about where they are heading into the season. A mediocre team, a team capable of winning a game, going to Seattle and winning a game there, but also not good enough to be a consistent team, to be a true contender in the NFC, and maybe not even a true playoff contender, right? I mean, they have an uphill battle to go to the playoffs right now, the Washington Redskins. But speaking of uphill battles, so do the Dallas Cowboys, who right now can't do anything without Ezekiel Elliott. Last game, they scored 6 points. Game before that, 7. Game before that, it may have been 7 as well. They can't do anything without Ezekiel Elliott. And man, I'm a Dak Prescott defender. I'm a Dak Prescott supporter. But I'm starting to lose some favor with Dak Prescott. I expect a better performance from him here, but I still don't expect him to get the W. Give me the Redskins to go to Dallas and get it done. I did not love how the Redskins handled the Giants last week, but they got the W. And again, as I always say, everyone has ugly wins in the NFL from time to time, except for the Patriots and the Eagles right now. Everyone else has some ugly wins. It's okay to have ugly wins every now and then. Give me the Redskins to go to Dallas and get it done. And as I said last week, I said Dez Bryant, man, I don't think he can be the #1 for the Cowboys anymore. You saw more of that last week. We're going to talk more about that heading into the offseason because the Cowboys ain't making the playoffs. We move on to the Sunday games. You have the Minnesota Vikings at the Atlanta Falcons, and this was a tougher game for me, but I have to learn my lesson at this point, man. I just have to pick the Vikings no matter what. Until they start losing again, I have to pick the Vikings no matter what. Although, I look at the Falcons and I look at them in Atlanta and they scare the hell out of me, and Julio Jones is back to being an absolute beast. The Vikings have been unbeatable lately, and I just can't go away from that. This is going to be a close game. This is going to be a tough game, but the Vikings defense is really good, and their offense is really good right now. And I want to talk about this momentarily. There's a big debate whether or not the Vikings should start Teddy Bridgewater, and I think they would be nuts to start Teddy Bridgewater. I understand that there is a belief that you are more likely to win a Super Bowl with Teddy Bridgewater than you would with Case Keenum, but I'm going to rebuke that right now. Teddy Bridgewater, to me, has been a little bit overrated. He's fine, but he ain't great, okay? His season high for touchdowns in his career is 14. And I believe Case Keenum has already surpassed 14 touchdowns this season. If he hasn't, he's going to, right? Case Keenum has honestly done more in, let's say, what is it, his 6 to 8 game starting span for this football team than Teddy Bridgewater has in any 6 to 8 game span for the Vikings in his Vikings career. He's won more games, in terms of being a win record wise, not actual games, but he's been a better leader of the team in terms of winning games. Anytime he steps on the field, he's put up better stats. I think Case Keenum right now is playing better than Teddy Bridgewater ever has. So I don't know why you would ever consider going to Teddy Bridgewater. And yes, right now Case Keenum has 14 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. These stats are better than any individual season Teddy Bridgewater has given. Okay, has performed, has showcased in his career. Any season, a total season, cannot equal what Case Keenum has given you right now. Why the hell would you go to Teddy Bridgewater? You got to stick with what is working right now. I know even I look at Case Keenum and I think, man, he can't lead a team to the Super Bowl. But you know what also I thought before the year? I said, no way can Case Keenum lead a team to 9-2. And yet, Case Keenum has led a team to 9-2. So damn, maybe he can win a Super Bowl, man. I mean, did you see this happening thus far? No. So I'm not going to say that he can't lead them to the Super Bowl, because I'm looking out for this team right now, as should you. So with that said, give me the Vikings to go to Atlanta and get the victory there. We move on to the Detroit Lions at the Baltimore Ravens. All right, so for this game, look, I want to pick the Lions. I really do. I really do. But they're going to Baltimore. Baltimore's not great. Okay, Baltimore is not great. But right now they are competing for an AFC wildcard spot. Both these teams have good defenses. Both these teams, the Ravens have a better defense for sure. But one team does have Matthew Stafford, the other one has Joe Flacco. You know what, actually, I was going to pick the Ravens. I really was. But the more I think about it, there is an argument for the Lions, and I like that argument enough. I'm picking the Detroit Lions. I'm going to pick the Lions because they have Matthew Stafford at the helm. And Joe Flacco has been playing better lately, but Stafford is still the better quarterback. And because the defenses are somewhat close, give me the Lions to go to Baltimore and get it done. It's not going to be easy, but now that I look at it more, actually give me the Lions to go to Baltimore and get the victory here. Although I do not love picking a road team in Baltimore, I will do it today. Next game. New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills, they went to Kansas City. They got it done last week. Why? Because they did not start Nathan Peterman. Isn't that one of the most ridiculous things you've ever seen in your life? Okay, a team that moved away from their quarterback for a half, moved back to their quarterback, and they were so wrong. They were so evidently wrong. It's the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen. Like, I've never seen anything like this. A team to change quarterbacks, be horrifically wrong, to where the quarterback comes in, does horribly, throws 5 interceptions, they move back to the other quarterback, and the quarterback comes back and wins the next week. I mean, how embarrassing is that for the Bills front office, for the coaching staff, and anyone that had anything to do with the Nathan Peterman decision? Ridiculous. The Bills don't deserve to make the playoffs, but they still might. But they're going to lose this game because although they look better with Tyrod Taylor at the helm, the Patriots are the Patriots. And although they got off to a rocky start to start the season, they are looking damn good now. They're looking unbeatable now, and I can't wait for the Patriots and Steelers matchup that we shall enjoy in about 2 weeks. But for this week, give me the Patriots to go to Buffalo and get it done in Buffalo. San Francisco 49ers at the Chicago Bears. And I struggled with this matchup. The 49ers may finally, dear God, they may finally start Jimmy Garoppolo. And look, I know we all want to look at the 49ers coaching staff and their front office, right? John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. And you want to say, yeah, they're young, they're good. I think they stink. Thus far, they stink. The fact that they have not started Jimmy Garoppolo yet is a disgrace. The minute he came into the game last week, he led a touchdown drive. I mean, what the hell are y'all doing? It's taking them, what, 3-4 weeks to start Garoppolo? I know he has to learn the system. BS. You saw Case Keenum go to Minnesota, and he's had success immediately. You can bring Jimmy Garoppolo and start him. CJ Beathard stinks. So the fact that they've taken this long is ridiculous. And they're 1-10? They stink. Shanahan stinks. And if you need any more indication, look at the New York Jets. Do the Jets have that much better of a roster than the 49ers? No. And yet the Jets are 4-7. The 49ers are 1-10. Okay, the Rams, I know they're doing well right now. Why? They have their new head coach, Sean McVay, who despite Jared Goff stinking, was able to turn him into something. Why? Because Sean McVay can coach. Kyle Shanahan can't. I'm sorry, I don't see it, I don't buy it. I know he's young, he's new, and we like young and new things, but thus far, this new regime in San Francisco stinks, and we can't even differentiate it from the last one. There is nothing that is better from last year than this year in San Francisco. The defense is a little bit better, and that's it. So with that said, give me the Bears to win in Chicago. Although the Bears stunk last week, they showed an ability to win some games this year. The 49ers have won a game, but not some games. So that's the reason. That's all the reason you're going to get from me. I think Jordan Howard should be, he's going to be the one good player offensively in this football game. And Jimmy Garoppolo, if he plays, I like him. and maybe he can do something. But other than that, we're talking about one good player offensively, excluding the offensive line. And I'm going to go with that player to win the game. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Green Bay Packers. Give me the Bucks. I mean, I don't say that very happily. I don't say that with confidence. Brett Hundley actually looked like an NFL quarterback last week. Wow. And even kind of a good one, as he went to Pittsburgh and he put on a better show than my boy Marcus Mariota did the week prior. So I'm looking out for the Packers in this game, but I feel like the Bucks are just a team that's going to piss you off and randomly win games, and this is going to be one of them. But you know what? I'm changing this because I just picked the Lions to go on the road and win in Baltimore. I can't pick another road team that I don't believe in. So give me actually the Packers. Fine, I'll pick the Packers. It is late November. The more I think about it, I think this is Southern Tampa Bay team is going to struggle going to Green Bay. So I'm going to change my prediction yet again on the fly. Give me the Green Bay Packers to win. But again, I don't have confidence in that. Hopefully Brett Hundley does not let me down. We have the Indianapolis Colts at the Jacksonville Jaguars. And what did I tell you all? The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to lose games that they shouldn't. You cannot say this about the Tennessee Titans for the most part. I think they're going to lose a game soon that they shouldn't. But that is why I still like the Titans to win the AFC South. But even then, I'm barely holding on to that. But I am believing in that. So they could lose this game, because I didn't think they were going to lose last week, but they did. But they should win this one, right? They already beat the Colts this year. They beat them 27-0 in Indianapolis. They should get it done in Jacksonville. Jalen Ramsey should be back for this game, and there should be less Blake Bortles stinkage. Give me the Jaguars to win in Jacksonville. We have the next game. We have the Denver Broncos at the Miami Dolphins, and what a tough game to predict, as both of these teams have gone in the toilets. One, because one shot themselves in the foot in the Miami Dolphins when they moronically traded away Jay Ajayi, the one good thing in that entire organization. No, that's not true, but one of the few good things, okay, let's say that. And then the Denver Broncos, who just stink. Okay, they just flat out stink, and I think Vance Joseph has a lot to do with that. So Miami, I can't pick them. Just because Jay Cutler's at the helm, and you have Kenyon Drake and Damian Williams. And look, I like Jarvis Landry, Devontae Parker. He still hasn't really popped off. Maybe next year is going to be the year for him, but it ain't this year. He can have a Devin Funchess type thing where next year is his year. This year doesn't look like it is. I'm going to take the Broncos, who stink, okay, to win something, and that's very dangerous. But they look like they've been closer to winning than the Dolphins have lately, and that's a stretch, I know, but come on, man, give me a break. I don't want to pick anyone here. All right, next game we have the Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints. Give me the Saints, right? They lost last week in LA. I thought they were going to get it done. They didn't. That's fine. They're back in New Orleans. They're still running that football. And Cam Newton, okay, despite the Panthers doing well this year, he ain't doing that well. I'm not sure if Greg Olsen may be back for this game, but I don't really care. Give me the Saints to win anyway. At home, Alvin Kamara is an absolute beast. And my goodness, this guy's an absolute beast. And he'll get it done in New Orleans. Next game, we have the Kansas City Chiefs at the New York Football Jets. I know. What the hell am I going to do here? Right? That's what you're asking, because I don't even know. All right, so I'm going with the Jets, okay? Because, look, it doesn't make any damn sense. But neither has any, to me, of the Chiefs' past 3 losses. Except for maybe the first, right? They lost to Dallas, in Dallas, when Ezekiel Elliott was playing. Okay, Zeke was playing. All right. Then they lost to the New York Giants. My goodness. And then last week they lost to the Buffalo Bills, who the 2 weeks prior had gotten their asses kicked by the Saints and the Chargers. There are problems in Kansas City that are unbelievable. I mean, you just have to buy into this right now. And this is a team that has to make a change of quarterback. Not the Vikings who are winning games. Look, my belief is when you're winning games, man, we got to keep course. We got to keep this ship going where it's going. We got to stick to whatever we're doing. We got to stay on our game plan. However, when you start losing games, that's when you have to make changes, and I think it's Patrick Mahomes' time in Kansas City. Okay, despite Alex Smith's season stat line of 19 touchdowns to about 4 interceptions, the last 3 weeks have been awful. This team needs a spark. It needs a change now, and it has to be Patrick Mahomes to me. But he's not going to start yet. I think that conversation may start next week with Andy Reid and the coaching staff stuff. Right now, I have to beat the Jets, man, because the Jets, I mean, they won a couple weeks ago. They beat Buffalo, and they're capable of winning games like this, and they even competed against Carolina last week. So give me the Jets to win this game at home. I can't believe this. Even in the midseason, when I said, hey, the Chiefs are struggling, I still said, man, they should go 12-4. But they can't beat the worst teams in the league right now. The Giants, the Bills, who aren't one of the worst, but they were playing like one of the worst at the time. And now even New York, I don't think they can beat them. I'm not sure they'd even beat Denver right now, man. Kansas City's having big problems. All right, next game we have the Houston Texans at the Tennessee Titans. My Tennessee Titans. So this should be a victory for us. Now, yes, the Texans looked, you know, decent whenever they played a couple weeks ago, whenever they beat the Cardinals. Maybe it was last week. No, it wasn't last week. It was 2 weeks ago. But the Titans should get it done to me, okay? They're at home. This is what they do at home now. I mean, this is now a good home team in Tennessee. You know, we'd like to see some things out of this game other than us just winning barely. But with that said, all we're going to do is win barely. So just look out for that. Look out for some more Mariota struggles and some more tweets on Twitter about firing Mike Mularkey. But at the end of the day, the Titans will be 8-4. And what the hell are we going to be talking about? All right, next game, you have the Cleveland Browns at the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers, man, and the Chargers are making a comeback, and I'm now almost convinced that they will win the AFC West. The Chiefs are choking like dogs, and the Chargers will take advantage. To me, this is my prediction. Unless if the Chiefs can start Patrick Mahomes, he is the only man that can save their season, or if they just naturally, you know, pick things up again. Because just as they naturally started sucking, they could naturally start to do well again. So we need to look out for that as well. Give me the Chargers to beat the Browns. The Browns stink. The Browns are in trouble. 0-12 after this week. Where will the win come from? I don't know. They could have beat Jacksonville. They didn't. They could have beat Tennessee. They didn't. And the funny thing is, this Browns defense is actually one of the average defenses in the league, but their offense is just so damn awful, they don't have a damn chance. The next game, Los Angeles Rams at the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals got it done last week. Thank you, Arizona Cardinals, for beating the Jacksonville Jaguars for me and the Tennessee Titans. However, now you're going up against the LA Rams, and although you can beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are a playoff team, the LA Rams are a much different playoff team. Now, the Rams have slept a couple of times, right? When they lost to the Seahawks, that was a little unexpected because it was in LA, but the Seahawks were quite good. The other losses they had, they lost to the Redskins. This was early in the year before we really know what they were. And the other loss they had, I can't remember. It was Minnesota, right? So I just don't see them losing to you guys. I mean, it could happen. Maybe Blaine Gabbert has found the answers for his career. You know, all of a sudden he knows how to play quarterback. We need to I'll look out for this guy. But for right now, I got to pick the LA Rams to go to Arizona and win in Arizona. Next game, New York Giants at the Oakland Raiders. And man, I mean, come on, man. I know the Raiders won last week, but I'm still not really impressed. Michael Crabtree punched a guy. Aqib Talib is his name. And now you're talking about him being suspended for this game. That does not bode well. The Giants, although they stink, they're capable of winning. However, they've thrown in the damn towel because they're starting Geno Smith at quarterback. They're benching Eli Manning in what is one of the most blatant tanking moves in the history of moves. Everyone's talking about, oh, they want to bench Eli because he's not playing very well. No, they're tanking, period. That's the reason. They're tanking is the most obvious tank job I've ever seen in my life. They know Eli Manning would win this game, honestly. I think if Eli Manning was at the helm, I'd take the Giants. I honestly would. The Raiders are not impressing me at all. Amari Cooper is way too inconsistent to lead this wide receiver core alone. I would take the Giants to win this game if Eli Manning was playing, but he's not. They're going to play Geno Smith. Geno Smith is going to come in, most likely stink, although maybe he'll have a Case Keenum type show, and that'll be fun to watch, but most likely stink, and then the Raiders will take advantage. So give me the Raiders to win this game, but I think it's going to be ugly. I don't think you're going to like it. I don't think I'm going to like it, so I'm not going to watch. Next game, Philadelphia Eagles at the Seattle Seahawks, and what a game we have here indeed. What a game we have here indeed. Now, heading into this season, I have the Seahawks winning this game. Mid-season, I have the Seahawks winning this game. Right now, I have to go with the Eagles to beat the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. Look, Seattle's having problems in their secondary. Richard Sherman, out for the year. Cam Chancellor out for the year. A lot of other people banged up all over the damn defense. The offense, Russ Wilson still has to run around like he's trying to save his damn life. And I was thinking about Russ Wilson today as Ciara, his girlfriend, made him a happy birthday message. Oh, happy birthday, boo, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, man, this guy's a winner. And he could get it done on his own. I mean, if you can marry Ciara, dog, you're a damn winner in life. But I can't pick them to win here. The Eagles are too damn hot. I think this will be the first time the Eagles have been challenged in a while. But, man, I think the Eagles are going to outscore the Seahawks here in a pretty good shootout and maybe a Game of the Year candidate. Look out for this football game. And then the last game of the week, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals. And I really wanted to have the balls to pick the Bengals to win this game. It makes sense to me. The Steelers are already looking ahead for their matchup against the New England Patriots in a couple weeks. The Bengals have been resurging lately. I want to say of their past, how many games? Of their past maybe 7 or 8 games, they have 5 wins. It's been decent for the Bengals lately. However, the Steelers are kind of too good right now. And they're playing really well. And they haven't lost in a while. I mean, they're on like a 7-game win streak right now. It's ridiculous. The Bengals, specifically Andy Dalton, they tend to choke on prime time. Okay, that's been their move over the past couple years, ever since Andy Dalton took over at quarterback. Although I am an Andy Dalton defender, I have to admit, that guy chokes on primetime games and playoff games. He does it every year, all the time. That's his move. So because that's his move, I can't pick him to win here. But if the Bengals could do this, once again, they would insert themselves into the conversation for the AFC wildcard race, and that would be very interesting indeed. They have to get John Ross involved to me. He has not caught anything this year. Their offense needs to be more dynamic because their defense is actually quite good. The Cincinnati defense is quite good, but their offense isn't dynamic enough. And everyone loves Joe Mixon. Last week was his first good week. Other than that, he hasn't been really explosive, so perhaps he's going to start to pop off. We'll see. But you got to pick the Steelers to me to win this game in Cincinnati. So there you go. Those are my NFL Week 13 picks and predictions. What are your picks and predictions? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment. And I'm out. See you all later.